Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs,
I'm Mekkah.
and it's time to make some kids.
Still doesn't sound bad. I mean, still doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
Oh god.
But I mean, if I didn't make the joke, the comment section would be littered with them anyway.
And if you make the joke, the comment section would also be littered with it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So, yeah, it's time to plan out the second generation. This is something I think it's important to do, especially if we want to go for a ranked run. The goal isn't necessarily just to make the children good. I want to make sure that the children who might struggle in the arena or might struggle getting experience otherwise, that they are as easy to use as possible, so that we cap out every single child in the second generation and thus get an easy experience ranking. We want to make sure that, I mean, some of the kids, they get good regardless, but there are some other kids who actually sort of, you can make or break, I guess, if that's the thing, depending on who their fathers are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the females in the first generation based on their join time. Let us start with Aideen.
Alright.
And Aideen gives birth to 2 kids. She gives birth to Lester and Lana, I think?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So Lester is a bow knight, who he starts as an archer knight, and Lana is a priestess. They both join in the first chapter of the second generation. So I usually like to pair up Aideen with Midale or Midir.
Yep.
I find that this helps out Lester a lot.
The basic bitch pairing.
It's a basic bitch pairing, but it's a good one. Like Midir gets a brave bow in chapter 3 or chapter 4 of the first generation, which you can pass down to Lester, and you just become so good.
If they're paired, yeah.
If they're paired. Lana is a priestess, and her job is just to heal. I don't really feel like inheritance helps her much anyway. Like, she can heal, and that's really all you need her to do. But if you have any other suggestions, I'd love to hear them.
I think this is a fine pairing if you just want to make what's his face, Lester good at combat. It doesn't make him like the greatest you could ever be ever, but it's probably the most efficient way to do it because it's the only pairing that gets him bow inheritance and pursuit and the brave bow. That's really good. Another pairing that I would like to bring up briefly is like the magic based pairings, like both Claude and Azel are both options for Aideen. They pretty much wreck Lester because his strength growth becomes absolute garbage, and it's base strength too, so he really sucks at combat. And Azel gives him pursuit, but Claude doesn't, so Claude Lester is really bad, like really garbage. But in return, you get like a really good Lana at certain stat duties. Like when you get Claude, like both of these pairings, I should start with give the rescue staff in Generation 1. Like Claude gives it to you in Chapter 5, and Azel gives it to you in Chapter 4, assuming they're paired by then. And the rescue staff, it gives you a lot of experience. First of all, it can save you some turns for your tactic ranks if you want. You can, and then if you do Claude with Lana or Claude with Aideen, you can give the rescue staff to Aideen in Gen 1, and then she can pass it down to Lana, and then you have the rescue staff in Generation 2, Chapter 6. And you can then save turns with it, get extra experience with it. You can have Fortify in Chapter 6, which is pretty cool. You can rescue Seliph across the desert, which can save some time. You can get people out of sticky situations, which I know might happen. So that has some value to it, but it will pretty much ruin your Lester. So I think you can still get through the arena with some hard trying, but it's going to take more effort. I think overall Lester still best off having Midir as the parent, and you can still just cap out Lana with just using staffs over and over, like the return staff, like we talked about. So I would probably still go with Lester overall. But I saw a ranked LTC run, like someone that actually beat the game as fast as possible while also getting an AAAA rank or whatever. And they use Claude, so it is an option. It is possible with Claude. I'll just say that.
I gotta admit, I like the idea. Having utility staves, like considering I tend to get myself into very sticky situations because I do shitty stuff, having a utility priest that can rescue and shit, I feel like that's gonna be very valuable. Sure, yeah, Lester will be trash. He'll have a 20% strength growth.
No pursuit, which is really huge.
You wanna have pursuit.
He'll have the iron bow in Chapter 6 instead of like a brave bow.
He'll be the worst. He'll literally be worse than his substitute, I think.
Yes, very much. The substitute is like decent.
Yeah, I like them now. But
I fear for your Lester a little bit too much. Like the Claude thing was decent for Velkama, who did that run because of the LTC.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for LTC, I think they might have still gone for Lester overall for an easier time.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I think we'll pair up Aideen and Midir. I think that probably works.
You can still do like Physic in Chapter 6, which should help a little bit with the risky business.
Okay, So yeah, Aideen gets paired up with Medea.
Basic bitch.
Basic bitch pairing. It's a pretty fast one too.
Yeah.
The next character that joins is Ayra. Ayra joins in chapter 1.
Just like Aideen.
Just like Aideen. And she gives birth to Lachesis and Ulster.
Boy.
They're both sword fighters, which kind of sucks because they'll never get a mount. But they're two pairings I really like with Ayra. And there's like a third one that I think is kind of memey, but I like it still. The first one is Lex. I think Lex makes a pretty good dad.
His name is going to come up a lot, probably.
Yeah, I think Lex makes a good dad because he gives them Paragon, which is they really, really like. He also gives them some tankiness. What kind of sucks about this pairing is that he can't pass down any items to his son.
Incorrect, actually. There's a way you can do it.
Oh, really?
It's pretty funny. Yeah, there's two bosses in Gen 1 that drop swords.
Yeah?
There's Jabaro, who drops a Thunder Sword. And there's Shagal in Chapter 3, who drops a Silver Blade. Lex can kill them if he gets lucky, because he's kind of inaccurate.
Yeah.
And then he gets an item in his inventory, and if you keep it there all the way, pairing with Ayra, he can pass it down to Ulster if you really want to. It's not great, like you have to keep that weapon on them at all times, but the Silver Blade, I guess, isn't too useful, neither is the Thunder Sword, so you could do it.
Cool.
If you really wanted to.
But yeah, the other pairing that I really like is Noish. Passes down critical.
Also charge.
Also charge, which is actually a pretty good skill in FE4. He passes down very decent strength growths to them. Makes them a little bit tanky as well, because Noish does have some decent strength and defense on him.
Yeah, I think these pairings are mostly like important for the growth rates of the boy.
Yeah.
Like usually they don't really matter much for the daughter, because she gets like half of those. Doesn't really matter very much.
Yeah, and that Noish can also pass down swords to Ulster, which is nice.
Yeah, only B level though.
The third pairing that I know is not very good, but I like it still, is Ayra Dew.
I thought you were gonna mention Holden.
I don't like that one. It bloats them with skill. I never found it all that useful. You can't proc Astra or Luna at the same time. But I like Dew because
I hate this one.
Oh, I think it's okay. It gives them soul. It's just a funny skill. It's really good in arena.
No, it's not, because they win the arena anyway, and it's like unreliable. I don't like it. Like if you, like the thing is, like what I like about Holden is they can activate either Luna or Astra, and if either one of them procs, they will probably kill the enemy. So the fact that they like proc independently doesn't really matter very much.
Right.
Like if you have like a 60% to proc or like a 20% to proc one, it's like an 80% to not proc one times 80% to not proc the other one. So you still have like a better chance of activating something and killing something. I kind of like it. Sure, the skill is overkill, but they still get like +1 every single level. So it's still going to help them until it caps. I think it's a pretty decent pairing overall.
Yeah, Holden, I mean, it does give them major Odo blood, which is kind of funny. It gives them a crap ton of hit points.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, Lachesis gets 135%, and Ulster gets 155%, which is like...
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's nice, because, I mean, it means that they'll be really hard to kill, because most of them they'll have like 60 plus hit points in the endgame, which is, you know, there is some merit to that. It means they can take a couple of hits and still be fine, and their avoidance is good too, so just means they won't die, which is, you know, something that I appreciate. It also means Holland can also pass down really good swords to Ulster.
So can Dew, though. Like, Dew, you're gonna have to promote him because you're playing ranked, so he's gonna have A swords as well.
So, who do you recommend?
Ooh, this is hard because Ayra's kids, they won't have a mount, but they will pretty much be good at fighting no matter what dad you give them. So there's a couple of approaches you can take. You can either say, I'm going to get Lex to Ayra because I know that these kids will be fighting a lot in the arena and in general, so I'm going to get a lot of easy use out of Paragon without breaking my head over it. Like, these kids, they will get a lot of experience for free, so you're going to double that free experience. That's one way you could think of it.
Yeah.
Another way you could think of it is these kids are going to be good no matter what, and they will probably clear the arena, so they don't really need the help from Lex. So I'm going to give Lex to someone else and give these like another decent pairing like Noish or Holden, for example. So that's the two ways you can approach it. Personally, I think there's pairings that need Lex more.
Yeah.
Like kids that have a harder time getting to level 30. I think Ulster and Lachesis, they can buy the Paragon ring at some point and get themselves to level 30 through mostly arena use. I think they can do that if you manage your money correctly, which I doubt you'll do, honestly. It's pretty tricky to do. Even I need like hours of planning to do it. So yeah, like I already think you're gonna fail no matter what, but assuming you have a chance. Assuming you have a chance.
Good thing you have confidence in me, Mekkah. It warms the heart.
I would probably put Lex somewhere else. I like Holden because it's a pretty quick pairing to make. I like the idea of that. I think Dew is going to need a lot of freedom in where he goes because you're going to need to get money from a lot of different places. Like, you want him to go like, for example, those brigands that burn down a village, you want the dude to get to them.
Yeah.
And steal their money, get 5,000 gold for free, and then give it to someone else. Like, Dew is just gonna have to run all over the place to give gold to people and get it somewhere else. So I think he's too busy to like chill with Ayra, unless Ayra has nothing to do. I guess she can tag along with it, but that's why I like Holland, because he generally doesn't have much to do, and if he has something to do, Ayra can probably just tag along with him. So it's an easy pairing to make. It grows fast. It gets boosted by the Hero Sword conversation, chapter 3.
Yeah, to get like 100 points or something.
It's just a convenient pairing. Holland just passes down every sword. But you can really do almost anything. You can do Jamka if you want to. Like, there's a lot of funny pairings you can make with Ayra.
No, but so I think Ayra Holland is good for a ranked run. This is what we'll go with. So Ayra Holland. Next up, we have...
I think Lachesis is next.
Yeah, Lachesis, whatever she's called these days. So, Lachesis, she gives birth to Delmund and Nana. Delmund, he joins in chapter 6, whereas Nana joins in chapter 7. So, obviously, Nana is a healer. If I remember correctly, I think Lachesis passes her staves down to Nana?
Yes. Not all of them, I think, because usually Nana will have C staves, while Lachesis usually will have A staves, because she promotes.
Yes, exactly. So she'll pass down C rank staves to Nana.
Yes. Whereas
Dermond's father will pass down swords to him.
Yeah.
So obviously, I feel like Nana's like, again, similar to Orana. She's okay regardless of what you do. Obviously, we'll need a Master Knight Lachesis in the first generation. But a pairing that I really like for Dermond is actually Beowulf.
Wow, you're so inventive.
I mean, it is a standard pairing, but it is a good pairing.
It is by far the best pairing.
It is really good pairing. I mean, he gets 80% strength growth. He starts with Pursuit. He can start out with good swords. Kind of like Dermot can either he makes or breaks based on his father. He can be so trashy if you pick the wrong father.
Yeah, I mean, he can be a good support bot if you really want him to, even if he has to trash that. But for the most part, yeah, Dermot is very dependent on his father because he doesn't have Pursuit without health. So
yeah, and Beowulf and Lachesis have a conversation where they get some love points. It's a really easy pairing to make. So I just think that this is by far the best pairing, and I don't think we need to discuss it all that much, honestly.
No, I really don't like any other pairings. Like, people in the comments are going to be like, oh, like Azel because magic swords and more healing for Nana, but no, those pairings are bad. Get out of here.
They really are.
I will fight you 1v1 if you dare to suggest that pairing. I will.
Yeah.
Also, like, no matter what you do though in this pairing, like, you will get like really good strength on the kids because Lachesis has the Hazel Blood, which just gives like 30% strength straight up, so you don't have to worry about that. But
yeah,
having overkill strength is still really nice.
Yeah, Nana will have a 5% magic growth though. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
You can use Man Stabs. You can't use Recover, unfortunately. Like that's like one reason you could go Claude, but no.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about her magic too much because in a way, it even helps you to not have a lot of magic, because then you can mend someone and then heal them again with someone else to get more XP or something. We'll think of an excuse.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter much. Healing, like magic on healers in general, is just so overrated.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So after Lachesis, we get Silvia, everyone's favorite. Am I right?
Yeah, I like it, Rob.
Yep.
Rip me, no Layla. And she gives birth to the dancer Lean and Corporal. So Lean is a dancer, obviously. I know I said that like Layla's better. I take that back because Layla can't, like, she can't inherit, and this is important.
Yes.
One of the best thing to do for Lean, I think, is to pass down the Night Ring as well as the Leg Ring, because then you get a dancer with Canto that can move really fast.
Night Ring for sure. Leg Ring, I think, is like 50-50.
Yeah, Leg Ring is better on Seliph, I think. So I like Claude for this one. Claude is alright, because I need the Valkyrie staff, or I want the Valkyrie staff.
I don't know about this one.
This is actually one of the pairings I haven't thought a lot about, and it's because I usually ignore it when I play.
It's weird. It's very... You can usually ignore it, but you cannot.
No, I cannot. I like doing it because I actually like both the substitutes so much better, but I can't do it now, so...
Why not?
Well, I can't ignore them now.
Well, why can't you just do the substitutes? It's an option. Well, I guess you want the adherence, I guess. You actually don't need Paragon on Charlo, because you can probably get Airprint to level 30 anyway, so I don't think you should do the subs.
Also, it's tricky to get Layla to max level. If with Lean, at least she gets some better stats and she can fight a little bit in the arena.
Yeah, so now is probably the good time to bring up some tricks you can do with Gen 2 characters in the arena. There's like a couple of weird ways you can make absolute garbage characters like the dancers and the thief that you get as well. there's a couple of options to make him like almost invincible in the arena, and that can really help. So you can either make sure they have Miracle, get them to low HP, and then like make sure they proc Miracle in the arena, and then they just dodge everything, and they do like 1 damage every hit, but it doesn't matter because they can't be hit in return, so they just win. So you can do that with like the Miracle Sword or the Miracle Skill. That's one reason you want the Parror, actually, is to pass down Miracle just like that. Miracle is like good for Paddy, but we'll get into that later. Another way to do it is Vantage plus Sleep Sword, and just keep resetting in the arena until you like, because Vantage lets you attack first when you're on low HP.
Are we talking Ard and Silvia here?
Yeah, we could be talking Arden and Silvia, actually. You have 2 characters with Vantage. One of them is Arden.
Yeah, and then we got Lex.
And Lex is the other option, which is one reason why I was thinking about Lex not being with Ayra, because Lex gives Vantage and Paragon, so that will make it a lot easier to get Silvia to max level, or get Lean to max level. I should really not be getting characters mixed up here, because it's really important. Yeah, so Lex Silvia sounds like the most wasteful thing ever, because Lex makes characters so good.
Yeah, it really does.
Silvia might need it. I'm not sure if she needs it to get to max level. Just arena is probably not enough, but she also dances while on the field. But every dance giving 20 XP instead of 10 seems kind of nice.
It does, doesn't it?
If you can't find a good spot for Lex, this might be it, but I can think of at least one other pairing where I would want Lex. I think Arden Silvia is not the right thing to do here, because you can with Miracle you can get through the arena, so you don't need Vantage. So you can just do almost anything you want, honestly. Maybe Claude. Maybe you can do Claude here, just have the option of the Valkyrie staff.
It is nice
Maybe
to
that's
have.
just the way to go. So not because it's the best pairing, but because you don't need anything better for these two. That would be the answer here.
Keep in mind that the Valkyrie staff gives a full level when used, so that's like a free level for Charlo.
I'm really not worried about that, because when you have Claude as a dad, you can just pass on Fortify, and that's like 10 times 85 XP. So I don't think experience is going to be an issue for Kirpri no matter what. But it's nice to inherit some staffs, because if not, you'd have to like have him buy the staffs in Generation 2.
Yeah.
Which means you need to give him like a bunch of gold, and you'd rather spend the gold on other characters to get them to level 30 earlier. Because gold is basically experience. Like if you gold, you can buy the Paragon Ring. And if you can buy the Paragon Ring, you can get more XP.
Pretty much. So yeah, I think we'll do Silvia Claude. They also have a conversation, I believe, to boost their love points. So I think I seem to recall them having a conversation.
Oh yeah, they do have a conversation. Yeah. I think they also just start a little bit more, but don't quote me on that. I don't think it'll be too hard to pair characters up in general.
Silvia has like bonus points with anything that is male, so.
Yeah, well, that's mostly because she joins later. So, like, the characters that join later, they get, like, more love base with characters because they don't have time in chapters 1 and 2.
It's also because she's Silvia.
Probably.
Alright, so Silvia, Claude. The next character that joins after Silvia is Erinrys.
Yes. The shipping wars begin.
Yes. So, Erinrys gives birth to Fee, which is a Pegasus Knight that joins in chapter 6. And she also gives birth to Seti. You guys know who Seti is?
Oh, you mean Sed?
Or Sed, yeah, I call him Seti, but yeah.
I know.
And Sed joins in chapter 8. So he joins pretty late, but he's by far one of the most broken children. So, I mean, obvious pairing is obvious here. What a lot of people like to do and what the game definitely like wants you to do, considering it's like even canon in Tricia, is Erinrys Levin. They have a talk conversation where they instantly fall in love. In chapter 4.
Love at first sight.
So it's like, it's a pairing that you don't need to even worry about, which makes it really nice and convenient. It passes down for Seti to Sed, which means he just becomes a god. I never was a big fan of what it does to Fee, though.
She's fine, actually. Fee is really good, because no matter what, she's getting pursued. So you don't have to worry about her, really, combat-wise.
Good pairing. Do you have any better pairings?
I mean, Fee is such a flexible unit because she can work with almost any dad thanks to Pursuit and just being able to have all the multi-hit skills. Like, she can work with Noish because that gives her, like, critical and charge.
Yeah.
She can work with Claude to up to staff level of both kids. These kids, they have, like, both magical and physical properties, but they're not very dependent on having a high growth in like strength or magic, and they're both so badass and strong that you can do almost anything.
Yeah.
I like Levin just because you don't have to worry about very much. You get access to 4 Seti for like really tough bosses without having to worry about them. But like both of them can use staffs after promotion. Seti joins to pre-promote.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about them capping at all, and their combat is also very good. So Levin, I think there's one other pairing where I would like Levin in, so that's the only reason not to do it here.
Yeah, and I know exactly which one you mean.
Yeah, I love that character so much. But you can do anything else, so I don't know, maybe you shouldn't decide until you've done the other pairings.
We can hold this one off, because having Forseti in chapter 6 is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll come back to this. We'll leave it on the bench for now.
Benched.
Let's talk about Tailtiu.
Ah, yes, my favorite.
Tailtiu is great. Tailtiu, she gives birth to 2 magical children, the first one being Arthur.
I love Arthur, he's so cool.
And then she also gives birth to Tinny. So Arthur, obviously, he is one of the first mages you get in the 2nd generation.
The first you get.
So obviously, if we pair Tailtiu up with Levin, Arthur joins with Forseti, which just wrecks the first map. It's also hilarious to have a tier 1 unit use Forseti.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of fun. And there are actually some pretty tough bosses in Chapter 6. Like, for example, the Schmidt, the guy with the Brave Axe, he's a nightmare to deal with.
He's annoying.
So having Forseti for him is pretty nice. It also means that Arthur will just like blaze through the arena, he'll just like...
Oh, Arthur has a guaranteed arena win no matter what though, because of Wrath. So I don't think that's a good argument, but yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, so if we want memes, we can pair up Levin and Tailtiu, but I personally, what I love the most is Lex. It will hurt their magic growth a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but they do get Paragon, which is great. And both of the kids will get Wrath Vantage, which is just the funniest skill in the world. Because it means that, you know, you get them below half health, they proc Vantage, and then they Wrath. And they can just clear out squads of enemies, as long as they have like a strong tome, like a Thoron or something, that they can like one-shot incoming enemies with. They're good, but holy shit, it is a lot of fun.
Okay, so as you know, I graduated in Fire Emblem bullshit trivia. So I've tried out this pairing.
Yeah.
And like I looked into the numbers a little bit, and I don't actually like Lex Tailtiu anymore.
Why not?
Because they just don't have the magic to one-shot things. Like at first they might, because you need like a magic ring on Arthur and then some stuff.
Yeah.
And then he might be able to do it. But problem with that is I think unpromoted, he joins with like C in all weapon ranks, so he can't actually use the very good tomes. He just has C.
True.
I think actually he has B in Thunder thanks to the Tordo blood.
Yeah.
But Lex doesn't give any magical blood of any kind, so he's just stuck with what he's got. And you don't have an Elf Thunder in like Gen 1, so you can't pass one of those to him.
Right.
Lex cannot pass tomes, period. So you don't get an Elf Thunder forever until Tinny joins. And so until then, Arthur's strongest tomes is just the C-rank tomes, which sucks. So he can't really one-shot very much. And once he promotes, there is a period of time where if you promote him for like Chapter 8, you can use the Thoron that Ishtor drops. Yeah. And you can one-shot a bunch of stuff with that for a while. Which is funny, but you're playing a ranked run. You can't just have him like massacre entire squads. He's already got Paragon. He's already gonna max out. So having him quote unquote steal all the experience is going to hurt your ranking. So you can't do that. You can't really take advantage of that. And then once Chapter 8 is over, roughly, you'll find a lot of enemies that you cannot one-shot. Like you can one-shot Wyverns in Chapter 9, I guess, but you can't one-shot, for example, the lob tier mages.
No.
They have too much resistance and HP. Like 4 enemies in general just get so much HP. They have higher than 100% HP growth. They just get bulky too fast.
Yeah.
And then, like, if Arthur's already having trouble, Tinny is even worse off. Because, well, maybe her magic is a little bit better, but she generally won't be able to one-shot stuff either. So I would not do this pairing. I mean, I wouldn't do it for Vantage Wrath. I might do it because you're giving these kids Paragon and that will help them grow. But because they already are so good at the arena thanks to Wrath, like, if they lose in the arena, they get to 1 HP. And then they can just Wrath crit whatever they want. So it really doesn't help them very much in that regard. So I would not do Lex.
So what would you do then, Lewin?
I like Lewin because this is a very good example of making a fairly mediocre / weak character good in Arthur. It does hurt Tinny though. Like Tinny is actually one of the worst versions of her if Levin is her dad, because she has no pursuit.
Yeah.
Her bulk is generally pretty bad. I mean, it's bad no matter what you do, but it hurts her even more. We should probably mention the basic bitch pairing that's in like every game facts guide for Tailtiu. That's just Azel, like just a very simple but easy pairing. It's just 2 mage kids, just pair 2 mages together and get 2 mage kids. Azel makes them both like decent at fighting 1v1, but the problem is they still can't take hordes of enemies because Azel gives them good speed, gives them good magic, and it's fast to pair. But it doesn't really help the durability problem. Like Forseti at least saves the durability of Arthur.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a bit torn between Levin and Azel, because Azel makes Tinny more passable, like easier to get kills with. But if you're fine with setting up kills for Tinny, but you want to make Arthur invincible, I think Lewin is better. So I am leaning towards Lewin here, personally.
I think that would be fun, honestly.
Yeah. It does take a while to do it in Gen 1, but they can, like both Lewin and Tailtiu can staff spam to level 30, so maybe it's not that big of an issue.
Huh. No, I think we'll go with Lewin. That sounds like a fun pairing.
It is my favorite.
It is a really fun pairing. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Having Forsett in Chapter 6 is a lot of fun. So yeah, let's go for... Okay, so Brigid, she's the last unit to join you, and she gives birth to Faval, the bowfighter, and Patty, the thief. Now, Patty is pretty darn garbage, but you need her. Because gold is experience, as Mekkah said.
Yep.
So you want to... I take it you want Lex to be their father.
Yeah. I think because we haven't given Lex to anyone, and these are two kids that might have some trouble capping out.
Capping out, yeah. It is nice to get 20 experience for stealing, I will grant that.
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you mean for giving gold?
Oh, right, yeah, for giving gold.
Because you can't steal items in this game, remember? So for Patty, this is like a couple of things. It gives her advantage for the arena, so she can like Vantage Sleep Sword. And she comes with the Sleep Sword, so you don't even have to like sell it to her. So that's easy. That way you don't have to like worry about like trying to get Miracle Sword on her or something. That could also be a way to get it to level 30. And she gets double experience, and for someone who's garbage at fighting, it's always nice to just get double experience.
Yeah.
She has a lot of room to grow, so you get a lot of levels out of Paragon. And then Faval, you called him like really good, but he's just really good at like arena fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Although he has a bit of trouble with the arena sometimes because even the holy bow that he gets, the whatever the hell it's Ufel or something.
Ufel, yeah.
It's like
or Ikshival in the old translation.
Yeah. It has a garbage hit, and the arena gets like 20 avoid to whoever's in it, so you can have trouble hitting sometimes.
Really? I wasn't aware. You get 20 avoid in the arena?
Something like it.
Oh, cool.
So it can be a bit of troublesome. Generally, he'll make it though. But it's nice to give him double experience too. He's not the character that needs it the most. Like, that's kind of why I'm doubting, because, for example, if you give Lex to Ayra, you have two kids that start at very low level that have a lot of room to grow with Paragon. So that's why I'm kind of doubting. But it is still very nice for Patty to not have to worry about her. And the more time, like, the less you have to worry about Patty's XP, the more gold she can steal to give to other characters. And the fact that she doesn't have to buy the Paragon ring to get more XP also means more gold for other characters.
This is true. This is true.
The other option you could consider is do Brigid, because that will pass down bargain. That will let both kids buy things at half gold.
Yeah.
And that means the Paragon ring is cheaper, so that will also give him Paragon a lot at the time. But in addition to that, you can have Patty buy whatever she needs temporarily and then sell it later without losing gold in the process, which means, again, more gold for other people.
Yeah.
So that is one other way you go about it. And of course, Lex doesn't pass down items. Well, he doesn't pass down weapons to Patty, while Dew can pass down, well, I think just sea swords, because Patty starts with sea swords if you don't pair it with, like, Holden or something.
Yeah. No, true. I gotta say, it's a tricky...
I think what you have to do is pair Lex with one of Brigid's and Ayra, and you're probably going to give Holden to the other one. Well, you might want to do Dew instead.
I don't want to lose out on Lex as a father, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But what you're recommending is I could do Dew, pair Dew up with Brigid, and then give Lex to Ayra.
Yeah, like an often cited benefit for Dew with Brigid is that you get bargain on Faval, so you can repair the Ufel for cheaper. I've never run out of Ufel uses ever before because it's a bow, so you only use it on player phase. So how are you gonna find times to like fight 25 enemies with him? And then even then he has like the gold to repair it anyway. So I think that's a minor issue here. But people will bring it up in the comments, so I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah. It's tricky.
I think if you want to max out the amount of Paragon you're going to get in total,
yeah,
like you want to get Dew in there somewhere, because bargain is kind of like having Paragon in a way.
I think I'm leaning towards Dew Brigid and Lex Ayra.
I think so too.
I think that's easier for rankings. That means no Rip Poland.
Yeah, which is fine, because again Ayra can work with almost anyone. So it's like the philosophy of where you put Lex is like the most interesting thing of pairing to me.
Yeah. So we'll go back, Ayra, sorry Holland, where you get cock-blocked by Lex, and then we put Brigid up with Dew. So that puts us back to Erinrys, which just seems to be the most flexible of the pairings, because Zed doesn't really care what dad he has.
Mm-hmm. And the same goes for Fee, really.
So we only really want a Fee. So like, think about rankings. What do we want on a ranked run? Like we want a Fee. It would be nice with a Fee that doesn't die. So the Alec pairing sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, she only dies to bow users. Other than that, Alex is not spectacular for durability or anything. How often do you need Fee to be in range of bow users anyway? You're gonna use like your entire army all the time.
Let's just go over all the fathers that we have left.
Yeah.
Arden, Azel, Alec, Jamka, Noish, Finn, Holland, That's it.
That's it. Okay.
So Arden obviously sucks, so we can rule that one out.
Pretty much.
Azel, you did mention.
Yeah, as a like Boganon meme, but that's about it.
So that's a meme. So we ruled those out. Alec gives Nihil, but otherwise pretty trash. Jamka we haven't taken a look at yet.
Yeah, Jamka I think is basically inferior Noish though, because Jamka gives adapts and charge, while Noish gives critical and charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that right. But Seti already has adapt at base, and Fee gets it on promotion.
Yeah.
So you're better off getting critical for free than getting adapt for free. So usually...
That leaves us with Noish, Finn, and Holland.
I would not do Finn either. I think I generally don't think you need to keep Finn unpaired, but I think it would be nice for you to keep him unpaired here.
Yeah.
So he keeps all his weapons for Chapter 7, and in general, it's just... He doesn't even give you anything you'd need, because he can't pass down anything to Seti that's worth mentioning. He gives Miracle, but who cares?
So after the process of elimination, we stand with Noish and Holland.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the funniest thing about Holland is probably that he gives Fee a higher sword rank. That's about it.
Yeah.
I think we just ended up on Noish.
I think so too. I think Noish might just be the one we get.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk durability, this gives some durability to Fee, I guess.
Yeah, she gets a 50% defense growth, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not big of a difference to what she would otherwise have had, I think, but yeah, it's alright. It's nice.
I mean...
It's either Alec or Noish, basically, I think.
Holland does give her a lot of hit points.
He does. But he does deprive your Seti of all the multi-hit skills that he would get.
Yes, this is true. This is true, yeah. Not that Seti needs it, but still, I do.
No, Seti... That's the funny thing about ranked characters, is you think less about, like, if a character's already super strong, you generally don't want to give him anything, you want to give the resources to the weak characters. It's like communism.
Yeah, communism.
Like, the game, if you play the game blindly, like, without interfering much, you get capitalism, where, like, the strong just gets stronger.
Yeah.
You want to make communism, where you get everyone to level 30.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think Noish is the best communist option.
He's even red, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think so.
Funny how I have to pick between the Christmas caps for repairing.
Yeah.
And Alec is the womanizer, so you gotta go with Alec.
I do like Nihil though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wait, you're Mangs. You're often gonna put her in bow range. Maybe Nihil is the best for you. I mean, you don't want to get your combat rank ruined by the freaking bow users.
Man, this is hard. I don't know. Oh. Do I go with the stupid option and give Nihil, or do I go with the better option and give Noish?
You're Mangs. You're gonna do Nihil.
You know what? I think you might be onto something here. Having a Pegasus Knight that can't be shot by bows does sound really nice.
She can still die to bows if you play poorly enough.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm making you go back and forth so much. It's so much fun.
I mean, honestly, part of me want to do Holland just for memes, just for blood, but yeah.
That doesn't give you anything, because Holland does have Luna, which is like a pretty good skill, but it only gets passed on to unmounted sword kits, so like Paddy and the sword twins from Ayra.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
It's pretty useless outside of those pairings.
Man, I guess it's Noish then.
Nice.
Noish, yeah, Noish. Let's do Noish. All right.
Nice.
So, all right. And lastly, before we go over the entire list, let's just talk about the two set pairings. Let's talk about Seliph and Julia.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, Julia isn't really a kid, though.
I mean,
Julia does not inherit anything.
Oh, right.
She's set in stone, no matter what.
So Seliph, obviously, we can't like solo Generation 2 with him because of the experience ranking, but I think there's still some merit in like making him as good as possible. So we probably want to pass down like a leg ring and a Paragon ring.
I would usually advise doing that for any playthrough. For a ranked one, the LTC run that Ranked the Game did that too. I don't know if you need to, per se, but I can't really think of a better character to start the Paragon ring on anyway, especially because we're doing Lex Ayra, right?
Yeah.
So you want the Paragon ring on someone in Chapter 6, right?
Of course, yeah.
Someone who joins as soon as possible. And Lester joins a bit later, and he shoots someone once per turn, so you don't want it on him.
No.
Dermot joins a bit later than everyone else. Seliph, or one of the Sword Twins, but the Sword Twins already have Paragon, so it pretty much just leaves Seliph, because Lana doesn't want the Paragon ring, obviously. So yeah, I think by process of elimination, Seliph gets the Paragon ring, yeah.
Yeah, so possibly the leg ring as well, so he can run around faster and kill things.
I mean, Tactics rank is also a thing, I guess, but you don't want to seize until the enemies are dead because of experience rank, so...
No, this is true. So we want to pass down, I don't think we want to, like, deck him full of rings, but we definitely want him to get the Paragon leg ring, if anything.
He's good for some rings. I think it might be nice to give some rings to other people, not per se for combat reasons, but just to give him gold for the Paragon ring, if that makes sense. I think you want to check out Leif the most out of any character, probably.
Yeah, we'll talk about Leif now. So Leif, Leif is a character that, if you don't invest properly into him, he just sucks, but he can become really good if you give him the proper items. I mean, obviously his parents are quite an athlete, they are his parents regardless of what happens.
I'm having so much fun watching Mangs trying to find a Leif page right now.
It's not as easy as it seems. So with Leif, there's like a bunch of different cool things you can do. I think the most popular thing to do is like to pass down the lightning sword and just have him wreck face with it. You very much want to put the pursuit ring on Leif that Arden gets in chapter 2, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's Leif's biggest issue is that he doesn't come with pursuit, but he has adapt and crit, which are two really good skills. So if you give him pursuit, he becomes really good. The problem is he's level 1. So do you only get one Paragon ring, I think?
Yes.
So you either put it on Seliph or on Leif. A lot of people like doing it on Leif.
You want to have it on someone in chapter 6. It's that simple.
Yeah, but what you can do if Seliph promotes in level 7,
yeah,
or if he promotes at the end of the chapter, which you can do. End of chapter 6.
But you can only do that if you solo the chapter with him.
Yeah.
So I usually recommend doing that, but I don't recommend you do it, because in ranked runs, everything goes backwards, basically. All the good strategies become bad.
Yeah, because here, there's a lot of experience to be gained at the start of level 7 before Leif joins up with Seliph, but if he doesn't start with the Paragon ring, it's not going to get it until the end of the chapter, so...
Yeah. So the LTC actually promotes Seliph at the end of chapter, at the start of chapter 7. He solos chapter 6 and then promotes in chapter 7. And then Falcomite just sells the Paragon ring to Leif turn 1 in chapter 7. Leif gets rewarped back to the base. Gets the Paragon ring, sells all the shit.
Right.
Yeah, gets pursuit, and then just gets the arena, and then makes a bunch of other experience in the chapter and promotes at the start of chapter 8. Leif promotes within one chapter in that run, which is insane. I don't know if you could pull that off, but it might be possible to at least get Leif the gold Paragon ring right away. So you can give him the bargain ring, for example.
Yeah.
He's a really good candidate for that. Pursuit ring is also good, not just because of pursuit, but because you can also sell it for 20,000 gold and get closest to the Paragon ring. Because you need 40,000 for the Paragon ring, 20,000 if you have bargain. So you pass down bargain. But if you want to give bargain to Leif, you have to leave it with Ethlyn in chapter 3. So between chapter 4 and 5, you won't have bargain. I don't know how big of an issue that is for you.
I don't know, but I think...
But you don't have to make the decision right now, thankfully. We don't have to pair up Ethlyn with the bargain ring. So
no, we don't.
So you can make that decision.
We need to make it before the end of chapter 3.
Yeah, exactly. Preferably start of chapter 3, because you'll want to plan where people go.
Definitely. Alright, so to reiterate our pairings, Aideen goes up with Midir to make a good Lester. Ayra gets paired up with Lex to give Paragon to the sword kits, make them level fast. Lachesis gets paired up with Beowulf because it's the only good pairing for her. Silvia goes with Claude to give the Valkyrie staff in Generation 2 to give some good staffs to Corporal.
Let's be real here. It's just to make sure you can make a mistake and amend it.
Pretty much. Tailtiu gets up with Lewin to give Forsetti in Chapter 6 and a really good Arthur. Erinrys goes up with Noish because we couldn't really find any other good pairings for her. And the pairing didn't really matter all that much.
All of my pairings are good.
Yeah, pretty much. And Brigid goes with Dew to pass down Bargain and to make it a little bit easier for to pass down Bargain to Dace Paddy, pretty much. So that Paddy has some more gold to play around with, because Paddy's going to be one of the hardest Gen 2 kids to level up.
Faval as well.
Faval as well, so they really need that. Alright, so that will be our pairings, ladies and gentlemen. So, this will come out the day before FE4. So, tomorrow you can expect the very first part of FE4 to come out on the channel with Birth of a Holy Knight. See you guys then. Bye.
Bye.